Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So welcome everyone to our virtual campus tour. My name is Janelle, but we'll further introduce ourselves later on in a bit. But yes, welcome to our virtual campus tour. I know this is a little bit different, compared to what we're used to. I'm not sure if any of you have actually experienced a virtual tour before, but we've been doing this for a few months, because of COVID. So this is kind of the best we can do, really. And we're just super excited to be here and kind of, explain our school, talk about things. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to either type in the chat or unmute yourself. But, we're always open for questions and we do love questions. So yes, we'll further introduce ourselves now. So hello everyone, my name is Janelle. My current hometown is actually Carson, California, so the same city where CSU Dominguez Hills is. I live like 10-12 minutes away from campus, so I'm pretty close to home. And my major is actually music education with an emphasis in voice. So I plan to be a music teacher one day. Right after I graduate, I plan to be in CSUDH's credential program, and then hopefully, get a position in a school to teach music. And my graduating year or semester would be spring 2022, which makes this my third year. So I plan to graduate next spring. And then my favorite part of campus is our university library, but in all of its amazingness, my favorite part would have to be the third floor, only because when we were on campus, the third floor was such a productive place for me. I would go there in between, my classes, and I do my work, and I would honestly feel just super productive. So that's my favorite place.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leslie. My hometown is Wilmington, California. My major is kinesiology with a focus in teaching, so I will be a PE teacher, and I want to go further into my education and become a professor. So I'll be graduating in spring 2021, which is very exciting. We have heard that we are having a commencement ceremony, so I'm excited about that. And my favorite part of campus is also the third floor university library for the same reasons, and also it's where you'll mostly find a lot of students studying or just hanging out with their friends.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Angelica, and actually, my hometown is kind of far away. I'm from Jalisco, Mexico. My major is psychology. I will be graduating this spring 2021 as well. I'm a very part of the campus is the local student union.
Great. So we'll start off with our tour with the CSUDH overview and history. So in 1960, Governor Pat Brown at the time established South Bay State College, which was actually to be set in Palos Verdes, California. I'm not sure if any of you know where Palos Verdes is, but it's about 15 to 20 minutes from Carson, California. So it was set there, but in 1965, the Watts Rebellion occurred, which involved many moments of violence and riots. And it really surrounded the idea of the fact that there was police brutality. So in 1965, Governor Pat Brown decided to move South Bay State College to to a location that'll give communities access to higher education. So alas, it is now set in Carson, California, and now known as California State University, Dominguez Hills. So in our, in our campus, we do have our tuition and fees here on the slide, if you can see that. It is about $6,941 for full-time students. So that is for the year. So, if you were to think about it per semester, just divide that into two, it's about 3,500 per semester. And then the population is about 17,000 students, which that includes 15,000 undergraduates and 2,000 graduates. And I think this is a perfect time to mention that we are the only CSU in the greater Los Angeles area that has not declared impaction. So kind of what this means is that we can still accommodate space for more students, but knowing our campus, we are growing, as you'll see later on. And what's really great is that we are in the greater Los Angeles area, and we still haven't declared impaction. The next non-impacted campus actually is CSU Channel Islands, which is about 2 hours north away from our campus. So it's pretty far, but we're still glad to be able to accept students to welcome them to our university.
So now we're going to be talking about our place in the community. So we are located around, major cities as well. And the first place I want to talk about actually is our Dignity Health Sports Park. So it's actually on our campus, and it's also where we will be graduating, which is amazing. You get to be in a stadium. And also, this is the home of the Galaxy team. We do get discounted tickets and sometimes free tickets to their games. Also down the street, we have our South Bay Pavilion Mall, or our Carson Mall, we like to call it. There, students also get discounts at the movie theaters, at Wingstop, and also at JCPenney, because we do have a partnership with them. They actually help us get ready for mock interviews, so they will help us with discounts on clothing for business attire, things like that. And also, if you live on campus, it's a great place to go grocery shopping as well. I know there's also a Walmart nearby, so that's awesome. And then moving on from there, if you we're also close to a lot of beaches, so I know a lot of the time students need a break from classes, and so going to the beach is just a really great place to go and just unwind. And also, the good thing about our location is that we are in the Los Angeles area, so we have access to 4 major freeways: the 110, the 710, the 405, and I believe the 91 as well. And from there, the good thing about our location is that since we are in the LA County area, we do actually have a lot of connections with companies such as or institutions such as LAUSD. We have Microsoft, Apple. We also have internships with Toyota, all these things. And also, if you're into the arts or any type, we do have connections with Hollywood as well, if you want to go into acting or anything like that. So that's honestly amazing that where we're located is honestly the perfect spot for students to get internships and also jobs.
And now we move on with the student life. So being part of California State Dominguez Hills is not only just academics and just like exams and projects and all of that fun stuff, right? So you can be part of things that can be beneficial for you as a student. So you can be part of one of 120 organization plus clubs that we have on campus. And if you don't find something that you like or just like interest you, you are welcome to create your own club or your own organization throughout the office of student life. So you have many options there, and you can have fun in campus, even though you're a student and we have like responsibilities to do, right? But we can also have fun. One of the opportunities that we have as a student is to find the volunteers opportunities, internship or work on campus, like me and my colleagues. So it is always interesting and go and find something that it is relating to you and getting the experience from that. Yeah, we can go next.
Great. So now we're going to explore our newer buildings on our campus. First, we have our Science and Innovation Building. So I am not a STEM major, nor am I, close. I do love the architecture of this building. You can see the pictures here on the screen. This building just looks like so amazing. I would definitely go into this building, when we go back on campus, because like, look at that, like, wow. But this Science and Innovation Building actually opened this past semester in fall 2020. And they actually opened up for some lab classes, with some exceptions, of course. Students did have to get COVID tested, but it was a great experience from, friends that have taken classes within this building. They had to take lab classes, which is the only exception at the time, to take courses on campus. As you can see, there are new lab spaces, classrooms, study spaces as well. This building actually got helped by Toyota. They actually donated $4 million to help to build this building. And there is actually a Toyota STEM center in the first floor of this building, I believe. So we haven't really gotten much to look at for this building since it opened when we weren't on campus anymore. But we're super excited to see, all the STEM majors kind of explore this building. They'll definitely have more spaces for students in terms of studying and, more meeting spaces, which will be really interesting. But yes, this is one of our newer buildings.
And here we
Hello.
have another new building. Oh,
and I'm sorry, where is that located again?
Oh, it's
I know it's on campus, but
yeah,
is
it's located on the more of the south side of the campus.
Okay,
So near
okay,
the
that's
gym-
what I was thinking.
the gym
Okay,
area.
so like, yeah, okay, thanks.
Yes, of course.
near the gymnasium as well. So yes.
Yeah, and I was thinking of that too.
Yeah. So this is our newer building. This one's actually in front of the campus on Victoria Street. So this is our Innovation and Instruction Building. It will actually be the home of our College of Business Administration and Public Policy. So if you are a business major, most likely your courses will be in this building. And also it's a great building to open up more spaces for students. We are growing a growing campus. So we do have other lounge areas that students can hang out in and also study in. And the big thing about this building is that we're going to be using it a lot for events. So we'll be having things like TED Talks. don't know if you're familiar with TED Talks,
Oh,
but we
yeah.
will be hosting a lot of those here.
Okay.
And next, we have our housing. The students can choose between two styles: is apartment style or the dorm style. So the apartment style is like literally the name. So it is an apartment in which you can share the apartment with more students, but you have like more privacy. Like you have your own living room, your own kitchen. Uh, Obviously, like sharing with the students. Meanwhile, in the dorm style housing, you have your dorm, and you have the communal kitchen and the living room and many other like places for you to hang out. So yeah, so you can choose between two. If you're interested, I can give you the contact information for housing.
Great. So now we have our local student union. I'm not sure if any of you have been on our campus before, but this is considered to be the heart of the campus. This is really where most students come to hang out when we were on campus. I would say it is kind of in the middle of our campus. Really, this was where every student would go, you know, during their break, between classes. This is kind of where we have a lot of our resource centers, along with our food court, of course, and many of our meeting rooms. So kind of just to start off, this building actually has 3 floors, but it's kind of funny to explain because most of our school is underground, if that makes sense. So you can mainly be on the 2nd floor, but there's still a floor under that. So on the 1st floor is more home for our centers. We have the Rose Black Resource Center. We also do have the Toro Dreamer Success Center. We do have the Multicultural Affairs Center. We also do have a game room for students. So if you want to play pool or billiards, whatever you call it, and also, you know, game consoles as well. That's also where you can purchase discounted tickets for some theme parks, which include Knott's Berry Farm, Six Flags, Medieval Times, and Universal Studios as well. That's kind of where you could go to get that. Moving on to the 2nd floor, that is actually where we have our food court. So, you know, when we were on campus, there were many, many options, which include Panda Express, Subway, Green Olive. We also did have this kind of restaurant style place called Cafe 1910, for, like, you know, if you're really trying to eat a little bit more fancy. We also do have a DH Sports Lounge. So we do have alcohol, or do serve alcohol on our campus, but of course you have to be 21 and over, and they do check ID. But that's kind of just a sports lounge for more finger style foods. And also, if you know you want to catch the game, that's also a place where you can go to. We also do have a coffee shop on in the food court, and one of our newer options called Every Table. When we were on campus, this was my favorite place, only because more of their foods were like meal prep based. So basically you would choose like this bowl, and if it needed to be microwaved, they can microwave it for you. They also had salads and soups and really healthy drinks. And oh my gosh, I just felt super healthy eating from there. And yeah, they just really, you know, want to help students out. They also do have food trucks throughout campus, you know, if you're kind of getting tired of eating in the food court as well. But yeah, that's kind of the food court area. But then moving on the 2nd floor, we also do have ASI, which is Associated Students Incorporated. This is actually our student body and our student government. They kind of do advocate for our students, you know, whether it be something from, you know, with your academic college, you kind of have some suggestions or kind of ideas as to what to do on campus as well. That's kind of what ASI is for. They really do service our students. So they did have free Scantrons for students and Blue Books once you did go to their office. One cool thing that they do have is Toro Tuesdays. So Toro Tuesdays, basically you would actually, you can go into their office and you would show like a piece of Toro gear or something, like a shirt or a jacket or something like that, or socks even. And then it would count for an entry to win a scholarship at the end of the semester. And the scholarship would be $2,000 and $4,000. So, you know, what's great about that is really they would help students, you know, especially in college, it's really expensive. So they really do want to be there for our students. Also on our 2nd floor, we do have our CSUDH bookstore, university bookstore, kind of where you can get books, or if you kind of want to snack on the go as well, they have that. Also some technology, and where you can get your Toro gear. One cool thing about our bookstore is that they do have price match. So say you find a book online and you find a book in the bookstore, but the book online is actually cheaper. They'll actually give you the refund of a difference through a university bookstore gift card, and you can use that in the bookstore. So they really do want you to kind of help save, and it's just a really great service for our students. And then on the 3rd floor, we do have our meeting rooms and ballrooms. So typically, you know, when we were on campus, we would have our new student orientations in the summer, and that's kind of where we had a majority of our orientation. Kind of, you know, if you have like a conference as well, we also do have like our career expos there. And then the meeting rooms are a little bit smaller, kind of fitting like 15 to 30 people. And that's kind of more for like clubs, or like if you're having like board meetings or stuff like that, that's kind of a place to be. So yeah, the local student has a lot of stuff, and it sounds a lot like overwhelming, but I definitely miss this part of campus.
Then here we have our university library. This is where I spend most of my time. I'm always in the library, whether it's by myself or with my friends. But yes, on our first floor, that's where our computer labs are actually located, and also other classrooms will be located there as well. If you ever have a class that says LIB, it'll be located on the first floor of our library. And we also have our Toro Learning and Testing Center there. So if you need help with any classes, that's where you would go for tutoring, which is also free. So you can go in there anytime and just schedule a tutoring session with a tutor. And moving on from there, we have our second floor, which is now above ground. So our second floor is where we have basically lounge areas as well in the beginning. We also have our librarians at the front desk, and we have a course reserves desk where if you can't really afford a book, some professors do like to put their books on reserve there. And you can actually rent out the book for 2 hours at no cost. And you would just take it back or take any pictures of the textbook that you need. And moving on from there, we have our Booked and Brewed Cafe, which is actually a Starbucks, but we call it Booked and Brewed. So a lot of students you'll see walking around with their Starbucks cups all over campus. And then we also have another computer lab there as well, along with an office where you can actually register to get a study room. So there you can get a study room for 3 people or more, and they are soundproof, so no one's disturbing you and you're not disturbing others as well. You can study in peace. And moving on to our third floor, we also have computers there as well, and a lot of lounging and seating areas where students can go and study. And we also do have printing and copying services on our second floor. So if you need to print out any assignments or make a copy of anything, it's 10 cents a page, so it's actually very affordable. And also going up, our fourth floor is our quiet floor. So that's where all the hardcore studying happens. If you really need some peace and quiet, I recommend going to the fourth floor. So up there is where there'll be the most quietest floor. And then moving on to our fifth floor, we have our special collections and archives. So we actually do have a few exhibits up there about what they have some artifacts I've seen up there. Also, we have old pictures of what our campus used to look like back in the day. So that's really nice to look at as well. And with our special collections room, we actually do have some old books where we have one of the very first editions of Huckleberry Finn, which I think is amazing. I know I read that growing up. So you can actually go in there and check it out. You cannot leave the room, but you can go inside and check out the book. And it's also really nice to see what the campus used to look like and what we have on display. At times there will be events going on there as well. And if you're into art, on the first floor, we do also have an art exhibit there from our own students who put their art on display.
And now we move on with the online tools. So as a student, you will be utilize a lot of your my CSUDH portal Blackboard. So I'll explain the portal. So first you have to go to csudh.edu, and then on the you will see like my CSUDH, and then you log in. Yeah. Thank you. And then you will came up with something like this. So you can utilize like all of this. So let me explain just one thing that it is so beneficial for you, that is the student center. Thank you. Yeah, is that one. So in there you can go, you can search for classes, you can enroll your classes, you can see the schedule planner. You can see like many things that for your classes that are beneficial, and you can find you can go to other academics. So it is so good. And there it will be appear like your schedule for the classes that you are really in, and then you can go to my schedule and see the other classes that you will be have. We can go back to home. Thank you. And then I don't know if you guys see the software Launchpad. So all of that you can use it for free. You are really paying your tuition for all of this. So you can use the office 365. I'm a psychology major, so I use SPSS. You can, now that we are virtually, you can use the Zoom. It is free. You don't have to pay anything. Just log in with a credential and everything. You have Adobe in which you can sign in like in your computer, and it is so beneficial because now, like nowadays, everything is in the computer, and just have that option. It is really good. You have the Dropbox, so you can use that as well, and just like saving your documents instead of your computer, and just don't fill up the memory of your computer. You can use Dropbox. So on the in my size is the red hand. You can see your holes and your my to-do list. So if you have a hole, just click in the department and just see what department it is and what they are asking you to submit. And in your to-do list, the same thing. So those are the
I
things
want to
that.
interject. May I interject here? So OLLI students right now, you do not use this portal. Most of you do not use it. This is what I was referring to earlier, where you'll be able to add your own courses and things like that. We just have not introduced that for our OLLI students at this time in extended ed, but it will be available for them. However, just to let you know, if you do know how to access your portal, which you all have access to, you can do everything else. Just right now, you don't have the capability of adding your classes, adding or dropping your classes. Because we don't register. We register through papers still through extended ed. So that's why it's like that. Okay.
Thank you.
Would they still be using Blackboard?
We are going to be introducing Blackboard to them soon. They're not using it yet because, yeah, so this might be a little bit more advanced, but we're trying to get them here to this point. Yes.
Okay, we understand. Okay. So we'll just go through briefly a little bit of how we use Blackboard, just a little intro. So we would log in using your same credentials. And once you get in, you'll be able to see all the courses you registered for. So on the left-hand side, you would see institution page, your name, activity stream, and courses. So you would click on your courses tab, and there you can find all the classes you are registered for. You would just click on that class and see if you have any assignments, any what days you'll be meeting. The syllabus will be up there as well. If you do need to contact the professor or anyone in the class at any time, you are able to do so as well. Every student in the class will have their email on here, so I'll show you how to access that. So you'll click on your class, and then from there, you will go onto the toolbar on the left-hand side. So you go on the tools section. And then from there, you will go to send email, which you will scroll down and find send email. Yes. And then from there, you can either email everyone in the class, just select students, or even just the instructor, whoever you need. So the good thing about this is that we have a lot of resources. So if you're backed up on something, or if you don't understand a project quite well, you can email one of the other students or also email your professor. And also, just to make sure that you're on track, you can also check out the activity stream. It'll show you what assignments are coming up as well, but I would always just double check in your course tab as well. And then if you want to find out what your grades are looking like, you can just go to the grades tab and you can check there. This is what we mainly use Blackboard for.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So now we've kind of shown you a little bit more about the portal and Blackboard, which you'll be using on, later maybe. But yes, I know it was a lot and overwhelming, but that's what we're here for. We're here to help. But now we have our academics. So in CSU Dominguez Hills, we do have 6 academic colleges. As you can see here on your screen, these are all of our academic colleges. So basically we have CSUDH, and then under the CSUDH, we have our 6 academic colleges, And under each of our colleges, we have our majors, and then within majors, they might have concentrations. That's kind of like the tree a little bit. So first we'll go over College of Arts and Humanities. This is my favorite college because this is my college. But this academic college has 19 undergraduate programs, as you can see here on your screen. We did actually introduce more majors within this academic college. They actually just added Asian Pacific Studies and Women's Studies. So this is super exciting. And we also did have a communications major. However, within communications, there were different concentrations, which was advertising and public relations, film, television and media, and journalism. But now they're actually split up into their own majors, only, just so they can get geared to more of that specific major and getting more of that hands-on experience. So this academic college, like all the other academic colleges, really do emphasize hands-on experiences. Students can do this by performing in recitals. I've performed in recitals before. And we actually did get our new recital hall renovated, called the Marvin Laser Recital Hall. So that was super exciting. I definitely missed that. They can also work in our recording studio and KDHR, which is our radio station on our campus. And students are open to, host a radio show if you are interested. You'd have to speak to ASI because they're the ones that manage it. We also do have a Mac lab for students, who have to work on a Mac computer to use that software as well. That is open for our students. But, just like all the other colleges, really, we do emphasize hands-on experience and kind of just learning by actually doing it. So it's really, really fun.
And the next college that we have is the College of Business Administration and Public Policy. These colleges have four undergraduate programs that came with business administration, criminal justice, public administration, and applied studies. But even though they're just four programs, you can have a concentration within the program. So for example, under business administration, you can have a concentration in accounting and finance, information system, and entrepreneurship. So if you decide to go into this program, you can be focusing more in what you wanted to go instead of like be just general. So you can have a concentration and be more specific about the part that you wanted to go in.
And then here we have our College of Education. If anyone was looking to be an elementary school teacher, we do have one undergraduate program, which is the liberal studies, and it has multiple concentrations because, as we know, elementary school teachers have to teach multiple subjects. So this college does a good job in getting their students to get out and observe and also teach themselves. So we do have connections with LAUSD, and we will be able to observe schools around the area where we can see how other teachers teach and also apply our own lesson plans as well. And if you want to teach a single subject, you would just have to major in that subject. Say you want to be an English teacher, you would major in English. And once you get your bachelor's, you will go into the credential program at the College of Education. And also you can further go and get your master's as well. So I really like this college a lot. I will be going into it very soon to become a teacher myself. So I'm looking forward to that. And then this is actually my college now. So it's the College of Health, Human Services, and Nursing. So we have 6 undergraduate programs. We have Child Development, Clinical Sciences, Kinesiology/Physical Education, Health Science, Human Services, and Nursing. If you're interested in our nursing program, you do already have to be a registered nurse to attend our BSN program. So just letting everyone know. So we actually have a lot of events that all of these colleges can go to. We have our Student Research Day, where students actually conduct their own research with the help of professors and other students. And we will have people come in and actually view their research. I did have a friend who presented her research and was actually able to also present in Washington, D.C. and Florida. So there will be some traveling going on. And we also have our nursing lab, where our nursing majors will go in and work with their these dummies that are actually really lifelike. They do bleed and do other things that humans do. So that way the nurses can have a proper experience. And also a lot of these majors do have to be CPR certified. So you can actually come to the nursing lab and get your certification there. And moving on, we do have associations like the Child Development Association. We also have the Pre-Health Society. So in the Child Development Association, this is where our students here on campus actually get to work with our child care center that we have on campus as well. And they can help them with their social skills as well as any motor skills, or maybe if they have a speech problem, they will help them with that as well. And our clinical science majors will actually be working in our labs too, conducting equipment for medical, for hospitals and things like that. And also a lot of these students do actually get internships at our health center here on campus. And moving on to our kinesiology department, we do have our own athletic training office where you can actually help the athletes here at our campus. You can wrap them, ice them, anything like that. So you do get your experience just like you do at the other colleges.
And the next college that we have is the College of Natural and Behavioral Science. And this is my favorite because I'm part of this. This college has 17 undergraduate programs that came with biology and chemistry with the option of getting your Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor's in Science. And or biochemistry if you really like both. So like, yeah. Good. We have computer science, computer technology, information technology, mathematics, physics, air science, and geography, anthropology, behavioral science, and the best one, psychology. Just kidding. Oh, we can
Sorry.
go back. That's okay. Sociology and political science. So I know that this college offers a lot of help with the students, like because I am part of that I know. So in psychology, if you're interested, you can be part of the laboratory. So you don't have to be in the class to just to get the experience to be in the lab. So you can be like just seeing how the students or how the ones that doing the investigations like the process of that, so you can be part. And if you like to be involved with the lab, you can do so too. And it is not necessary to be in the class just to have that opportunity. So this is real good because once you're thinking about grad school, that experience can help you like a lot. Also, you can be part of the psychology shy honor society club. It again, you can have like experiences, you can see the other's perspective about psychology and all of the fields that psychology offers, because like it's not just like counseling or therapy. Sorry, there is a lot of things that you can do in psychology. And also this college offers peer mentors that are students that are like 1 or 2 years advanced like as you, so they can give you like advising about the classes or like which classes to take and which classes are harder than the others or which no. So it is really cool just to have the perspective of other students and create your own schedule without like going to your academic advisor, because like sometimes it's just like questions that a student can answer. As you can see in one of the pictures, there is a professor with a few students. This in these majors, I believe, you work with teams. So sometimes like the professor has the time to go into your team and help you the team to build what they're looking for. So if as well, if you have questions, so the professor have the time for you to go and answer your question, and they offer like office hours, and this is for all the colleges, so you can go to the office hours and just ask like the ways that you can improve your grade or the ways that you can improve your own knowledge, and this is so beneficial for all the students. So yeah, this is the college. We can go next. Thank you.
Great. So now we have our College of Extended and International Education. So with this college, it's actually a little bit more different than the other colleges. Within this college, there's actually not a lot of, there's no majors, but there are many programs. And within this academic college, we do have our study abroad international programs. So with this academic college, students can study abroad. They would just have to, talk to the College of Extended Ed to kind of get more information. Here in the picture on the top right, this is actually one of our orientation leaders who actually went to France to study French. So that was a really good experience for him. I heard he really enjoyed it. He actually brought me some goodies from France, so that was really fun and really cool to get the genuine thing, But yes, that is an opportunity for students. I don't know if that's really working out now that well though. So when we do get back, that'll be really interesting. We also do have certificate programs as well that students or people outside of our campus can be part of as well. We also do have Open University. So this is kind of a program for students who are not students on our campus, but do want to take courses on our campus. So, you know, you don't have to be obtaining a degree, but kind of just for students who just want to take classes. And, you know, you can't really blame that. So that's a really great opportunity.
Janelle, can I interject here? Because
Yes.
this, you know, this is where the OLLI program is housed.
Yes.
So I said 2 institutes. There's actually 3 institutes because I forgot about the South Bay Economic. I didn't realize that that was an institute, even though it's in the name. So of the 3 institutes, OLLI members also can go to Open University at a discounted fee of $30 per unit. In comparison, again, that's I believe it's at $130 per unit for the general public. And you would be in classes. You do have to get permission from the professors. There is a process for that, but it would be nice if you guys put on their OLLI program underneath that one. So we'll give you the information if you want, because we are finding some students returning, our non-traditional students, 50 and over, who do qualify for the OLLI program. So there are benefits for them. So speak to him if you guys want to add it in.
Yes, yes.
I'll speak to who I need to make sure it gets added in. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Yes, so in addition to Open University, we also do have our winter and summer intersessions. So, you know, in addition to our traditional fall and spring semesters, you know, if you want to take a class over winter or summer, or even like another course in the spring, you can join one of our intersessions. So this is kind of, you know, if you want to catch up to your coursework, or if you know you want to get ahead as well, you can take courses during these terms, and they would count for credit as well. And so yeah, this is kind of just a college that'll give students and even non-students open to the public really a lot of opportunities, amazing opportunities.
And here we have some of our student support services. So these services are open for all students. And these are just some of the many that we offer. I do want to talk about some that I just enjoy myself. And we'll also open it up to other people. If you want to know about a certain service, you can just put it in the chat or unmute yourself. But I do want to talk about our Associated Students Incorporated. So this is, I know Janelle mentioned it before, it's our student government here on campus, but they do also host Toro Tuesdays. So on Toro Tuesdays, if you show up to their office wearing any kind of Toro merch, so I currently have a t-shirt on, Toro merch, so I would get a ticket for that t-shirt and it would go into a raffle. And at the end of the semester, they will announce winners for gift card, other Toro merch, things like that. But the biggest prize is that they will pay for your tuition for a semester, which is amazing. So who doesn't want free tuition? So yeah, so you would just go in there every Tuesday, show the amount of merch you're wearing, you'll get a ticket for each one and you will go into the raffle. And also if you ever need a Scantron or a Blue Book, they do give students free Scantrons and Blue Books. So most of the time I'll be running late to a class and I have a test. So I just go right into the office and I'm like, can I have a Scantron? They're like, yes. And I just take it and I go on to my class. So it's better than, getting into the line at the bookstore and waiting. And now I'll pass it on to my coworkers if they want to talk about their favorite support service.
Yes. So I'll go next. One of my favorite resources is our Toro Learning and Testing Center. So when we were on campus, like Leslie mentioned, this was in our university library, but they do offer services still in a virtual format. So this is kind of a center where, if you have trouble in any of your classes, there are trained tutors who are there to help. And so with that, you can, make an appointment for any class that you're struggling with. There are tutors who have their students, so they've been through that class before, and they kind of can tell you and guide you along the way if you do have any additional questions, or if you just need help with a certain topic. They're there to help. I've actually been there a few times because I've had trouble in some of my music theory classes, which is definitely not easy, but it was definitely really helpful to kind of get that guidance from someone who has been through that path before. And it's great because they also do have a testing center and writing center as well. So if you need help in like writing papers as well, they can do that for you too. And you would kind of have to make an appointment through their website. I believe it is through email. And yeah, if you have any additional questions, we can go through that later. But Angelica, what did you want to talk about?
Thank you, Janelle. One of the support services that I want to introduce you guys is the Student Health and Psychological Services. So you may or may don't have a health insurance, and that's okay. We we all been there. And if you do have health insurance, you sometimes have to pay every month for the health insurance, and then when you go to the doctor, you have to pay more for going to the doctor, right? But here at Dominguez Hills, if you like feeling sick, like the common cold, like things at that level, like no emergencies, you can go in there and there are doctors and nurses, registered doctors and nurses that can help you with that. So you can have your physical done there. You don't pay, and if you have to pay, it is a low cost. So it doesn't have like expensive things in there. And as well, if you need a medication, you can go to the pharmacist and you get the same medication for a low cost price. So yeah, so you can get your shots in there, so your flu shot. So it is provided by the student health services, and it is so beneficial for the students as well the psychological services. So I know that many of the students at any age maybe get stressed in the semester, and that's completely normal for a way to say, because like if every students go through the midterms and the finals, and then you have to remember and study for like at least 4 classes or like more classes or less classes, but it is a lot of stuff, and you get stressed, and then sometimes with the stress came with the anxiety. So many people show different type anxiety, and sometimes it like stick with you and you need help. If you're having like another struggles in life, you can go to the psychological services, and they have their psychologists there. And if you feel comfortable, and I really recommend this to go to the group services, because you will meet people that have their struggles, but it could be like similar as you would, or different as the one that you have, but it could be beneficial because those students are understanding what you're going through, and just have that understanding. It is so beneficial for own well-being, and you can maybe friends with them, who knows, but you get the support that you need through all the psychological services, and as well with the student health services. So I really recommend to go and use this. It is for free, and if you have to pay again is a low cost price. So yes. Or if you guys have any questions about one of the support services, you can ask us. And yeah.
So I want to say that I'm Toro forever. I am a CSUDH graduate, 2018. Hema and I actually were just a year apart. My favorite support services was actually the Women's Resource Center. So that is where I first really found my creativity in writing. I was actually published in one of the oh, what do you call the little books, the zines? So we did a zine, and I'm actually published in that. They also do a women's conference that I like to attend when we were on campus. And um, I'm not lactating now, but they're used to, they have a nursing mother's room, and that's also a location of food services. So they have fresh vegetables and things like that. So I do like that. The Career Center also is a place that I really enjoyed. I actually was one of the first persons to go on one of the retreats that they did. The first retreat that they did up in PV, and that was really nice. We have had some of the team from the Career Center. I think we actually had one lecture, and she talked about meditation and finding that balance. So I wanted to say that. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is the student health and psychological services. Because we are students of extended education, which is not part of the state side, services are limited for those students, even me as a full student in the master's program. So that's where I pay the small fees. So of course, if you ever need any help, these services are there. They won't turn anyone away, but no, some of the services that are listed on their website are limited and not available to OLLI members. So I just wanted to say that part. And thank you for letting me. Do you know who else is not up here? The Older Adult Center. Are they open and running yet? Do you know that?
I believe they are, but of course, like these are plenty of our support services.
Yeah.
Of course, there's
Yeah.
way more than this. Yes.
So the Older Adult Center, everybody there is I'm not sure what they do yet, if they're back and functioning, but on campus, they did have a space if you're walking around campus and you needed additional assistance with, let's say your computer or more support, that is another space that's there for you. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you so much for that. Did anyone have any questions about any of these support services?
I do.
Yes.
Well, okay. Are these support services still going on like virtual?
Yes, they are. They are serving in a virtual format. It's kind of you know, a little different compared to what we previously experienced in person. But yes, they are serving in a virtual format. You would kind of just have to go on their website. Is there a certain support service that you wanted to look at or anything?
Oh no.
Oh yeah, but yes, they do
supposed to
serve virtually. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see, who else? I wanted to talk about the library because that's something that a lot of our OLLI members don't use as much as they could, especially online. I think someone asked if they are, if you can get books. They have a book drop and I think now a book pickup, but we are going to look into getting everyone a tour, someone to come and speak about that. But the other thing is that our, since COVID, and I'm putting in support services link for everyone, in case you're interested in going and looking any of the support services or groups, you all are welcome to join. I know Asian Pacific Studies, there's a group there that do, they show films. They have a movie time. So my contact was lost. Can you hear me, Emma?
Yeah, we can hear you, Nicole.
Oh, okay. It's at contact loss. So I did put in the support services information, but our library is something, two of our guests said the library, third floor was one of their favorite spaces. Mine too.
Mine too.
Yeah, everyone loves the library, but even in the virtual world, their online access has expanded. And once we become in person again, just know that as a CSUDH student, OLLI member, you do all the CSU systems now, you can access their online resources. So that's really wonderful, which has films and periodicals. I like the New York Times, but I don't want to pay for it. So I go through the library. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go through the library, you know, so that's really wonderful.
Right. I had a question, and it was regarding, and I don't know if the library knows or not. It used to be, and I don't know if that changed. The computer room, they had printing, free printing for I think 100 pages. Do you know if that changed or not?
That is no longer the case that I'm aware of. I don't know, Janelle, Angelica, Leslie, but there are campuses like the Black Resource Center. You can go in there and you can get free printing. The Women's Resource Center. So you could go to different places on campus and get a certain amount of printing for free. So that part is true.
And your Women's Resource, was that like, well, no, I know what that, they had different things. I attended some of the activities they had.
Yeah, they do a lot of, they have the women's conference, they do, they bring in panels. Yeah, they do a lot.
They do a lot. They bring in guest speakers. They held workshops. Just because I attended some of the Women's Resource Center workshops, I think they partner up with the Office of Student Life, and they would do NACE workshop for students. I know Nicole's familiar with that one too. But I think Janelle was going to comment about regarding the question, Janelle?
Oh, it was about the library. So we
Okay.
we don't offer free printing in the library, but like Nicole said, it's actually other kind of services and other centers where you can get that free printing for like a limited amount of pages, like not, I don't know about like 100.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah.
that was the computer room. However, I think it used to be when it was the old library and in the basement, I think you could get 10 pages free. Do you still have where you get something free, or do you
No.
pay for it all?
Yeah,
Okay.
it would be like 15 cents per page, black and white, and then in color it would be 25 cents.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that part is still there in the basement. It's just now you have to use your card and the way that the system
Everything.
is set up. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
So in the library, do they have let's see, a card, I'll say expense card that you could put money on a card instead of just paying the cash? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a little machine. You could like pay for it, and then you
Right.
get a card, and then you could use that card every time.
Okay, thanks.
But there are ways just to pay for cash too.
Yes.
Right. Oh, they're not going to
Yeah.
stop that.
Yeah. Yeah. But the library I love. Something else I was wondering is I think now OLLI members have to test it out, especially now during COVID, but post-COVID, OLLI members were able still to get a computer loan. If I called, then that means that if we could get in, that means they'll cut it off. So you'd like to try it out first. So there's computers, iPads. I know that we actually had a student who was an actual student, but an OLLI member as well. And during the pandemic, they did not have internet access, so they were coming to the campus.
That's right.
But they were eligible to receive, Janelle, Angelica, or Leslie, you might be able to help me with this. There's a Wi-Fi access or something that you could get through the library as well. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not too familiar with Wi-Fi, but I believe they did offer it, when COVID started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a mobile hotspot, I believe, we can rent out to students. Yes.
That's it, the mobile
Yes.
There you go.
hotspots.
Yes.
Okay.
As well as laptop rentals. If you need a laptop, you can rent them out for free too in the library.
Yeah. So there it is. And it used to be you had to turn them in a week. I don't know what it is now.
I think it's you rent it out for the semester and you just renew it if you still need it for the next following semester. Yeah.
So that's
And to
really
do
good.
that, Leslie, do you have to show a student ID card?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I believe it's just your student number, and you would just
Okay.
contact IT, and they would set up an appointment for you to pick up your laptop.
Okay.
Yes.
It used to be ID. That used to be in the little where Enroll and that little room. But then I know that that department, it went over to a different place, that they were no longer controlling those. But it was really great to have. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think they would require ID because new students aren't able to take their ID photos.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
That makes sense. So what else is there? The older adult center I thought about. Yeah, okay. So that's it. Are we up on our time, Hema? Where are we at? There we
Well,
go.
they can just continue and finish, and then
Okay.
yeah.
So thank you for the clarification and for all of that information that it is so beneficial for us too. So the last slide is just stay connected. So if you have like any questions about anything, you can call us. Actually, the students are responding the phone's call. So you can call at that number or just email, and an advisor will be with you. Also, the housing are having their own virtual tour. So if you're interested, I just put in the chat the contact information, and they have the phone number in there as well. And if you want to know more about our campus or what we're doing or things like that, so you can go to discover.csudth.edu, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And to this point, we want to say thank you for having us and to bring this tour to you. And hopefully you guys get the information that you need. And if you need like more information, just call us. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very nice.
That was
Thank
wonderful.
you.
It was.
Thank you so much, Angelica, Leslie, and Janelle. We appreciate
Yeah.
you ladies coming over. And I did speak with Jennifer, and she said she was going to try to make it, but I know she had her meeting. So we have this recording, and we're just going to use it for educational purposes, and we keep it in our library. Nicole, would you like to add anything else?
That is it. Also, we're going to give you a link just to ask you about this new members orientation. If you please at your leisure, just complete it so that we know how we're doing, how we can improve. We greatly appreciate that. Also, our next event is tomorrow. Is it, Hema?
Yes.
So please.
So I want to take.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're having an event tomorrow. It's titled The Roots of Tai Chi. It will be at 10 a.m. and it is in the OLLI Weekly newsletter, the one previous of this week. Sunday, we have a Tai Chi class for beginners at 10 a.m. And yes, that will be through Zoom. And then Monday, we're having a virtual tour from the Ford Theater from Washington, D.C. We'll be exploring Lincoln during the Civil War,
Yeah.
I believe that's the title of it. And we have French. We have Let's Read a Play this upcoming week. And that's about it. We also have social tennis on Tuesday at 10 a.m. And for the rest of the month, it is in our OLLI Weekly newsletter. Sorry, I'm looking down. I'm looking at my calendar. And that's pretty much it. I think on the 20th, Nicole, is the talk of the vaccine.
The Days of Dialogue, we'll be doing a community Days of Dialogue. Janelle, Angelica, and Leslie, we'll share that with your office. If you could share it out, we greatly appreciate it. It's for the community. And also, while OLLI is serving 50 years and over, it is open, and we definitely embrace intergenerational learning, intercultural learning. All three of you, I want to hit up to do something, you know, especially in the arts. We actually had a post-COVID, we actually did we did the previews as your special guests. OLLI members were special guests. So we were always there with the preview nights and supporting the culture and arts. So I want to invite you back to, you know, maybe we can do some work with that. So that's it. I think that is it, Emma.
I also wanted to invite everyone real quick in honor of annual observance of Black History Month. We are having another part 2 event on the 18th. I believe I explained this earlier at 11 a.m. I did provide the link in the chat along with the course evaluation, but that's pretty much it. If there's any more comments or questions, Mr. Bailey, go for it.
Okay, you know, it was mentioned before during other sessions that we had that you were going to put things in the chat, but okay, then once it was over, I don't know how to get back into the chat to see what you put into the chat.
Nicole, you're on mute.
Thank you. Mr. Bailey, if you go to save chat and click on that,